I've been eating kind of a weird breakfast recently, so I will do 2 hard-boiled eggs. I'll do a container of tuna, and then I'll put chili oil and sea salt on the top. And it's like become my favorite breakfast of all time recently. When I have green onions, I'll chop those up and put them on there too. I also have some blueberries, raspberries, and some pumpkin seeds on this plate. This breakfast is obviously really high in protein and it does make me feel full all morning. I used to never prioritize eating a big breakfast, if even breakfast at all. And I've noticed so many positive improvements since eating breakfast. Like I just have so much more energy throughout the morning. I'm not so reliant on coffee throughout the day. I also am less snacky in the afternoon because all of the meals that I have are actually filling. And I used to always be like, I'm not a breakfast person. But once I started eating breakfast, I realized just how important breakfast is. So if you think that you're not a breakfast person, maybe try to eat breakfast for like a month and just like see how you feel. I think the chili oil is what makes this breakfast so fire. Depending on what I have for breakfast, I'll either take my supplements right after breakfast or I'll wait and take them after lunch. If I have like a yogurt bowl, I can't eat my supplements after that because I find that it just makes my stomach upset. But if I eat something like bread or what I ate this morning, I have enough of a base to take all of my supplements. These are the supplements that I take, and I figured out what I needed because of the results from my Function Health blood test. I am the biggest scaredy cat when it comes to like needles and drawing blood, and I literally cry every single time I get my blood drawn. I'm just such a wimp, but it's so important to do blood panels if you can, and it's definitely a little bit of an investment, but it's going to give you real insights and answers into what's going on inside of your body. And so it's really amazing because it takes all of the guesswork out of your health, and it will tell you exactly what supplements you need, exactly what deficiencies you have. It can help you have a deeper look into your gut health, into your hormone health. And I personally love Function Health. I have another Function Health appointment coming up in a few weeks. It's like November 11th or something. So I'm really interested to see what my results are because I did have a few things that were red. My autoimmune was a little bit off. I had a few heart things that were a little off. And so now I've been taking supplements, the supplements that they were recommending. I've also changed some things in my lifestyle. I've reduced my stress a lot. So I'm just interested to see how the results have changed in the last 6 months. But the supplements that I take are this strong multivitamin from BPN. This is Nick Bare's brand. I really like him. And I feel like this is a very trustworthy supplement brand because they do third-party testing. I also take the Strong Omega from BPN. I take this curcumin from Blueprint. I actually used to get this from Thorne, the same brand as this, but I just switched to this because I was interested to try it. Then from Thorne, I take vitamin D plus K2. These are little droplets that I will put in a glass of water or I'll put it in my coffee in the morning. And those are all the supplements that I take right now. The multivitamin, the BPN multivitamin, it had almost everything that I was deficient in from my Function Health labs. And so this basically covers everything. I just have to take 4 of these. And that's something that I learned recently with supplements is you really need to look at what your body weight is and how much of each that you need because you might need more than one. So I take 2 of these. I take 4 of these, and I take also 2 of these. I do have a code for Function Health. I'll put that in the description. I'm pretty sure it gives you $100 off of your order, and normally it's $499. But this is also a great way to preventatively get more information on your body and prevent things from happening down the line because you were aware of what was going on inside of your body. Recently, I've been catching myself kind of like going through life on autopilot. And this is like showing up in different forms for me. So like One way it will show up is like, I'll have a really busy day and I like need to get a lot of things done that day. And I'll like go to the grocery store in the morning, like do a morning routine, like come home, unpack the groceries. And then I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, I had a whole like morning routine before this. And I was just like so like rushed that I wasn't like intentional at all about it. And I was just 100% on autopilot. Or like I'll be talking to a friend or someone that I love and actually like having a conversation that I want to be fully present in. But instead of being fully present in that conversation, I'm like thinking about my to-do list. And I don't want to live my days like this because I already feel like the time goes by really fast and I want to be present for all of the moments of it. So I'm going to sit down and do a little bit of journaling right now on my iPad, just about like how I can stay more present and what I feel like makes me the most present. I will pop up the journal prompts that I will be using on the screen. I feel like a solution to being on autopilot might be like just structuring the day a little bit differently, where it's like, okay, these moments I'm thinking about the to-do list and these moments I'm not thinking about the to-do list, so that the to-do list doesn't like take over my entire day. It's like a cozy and rainy day today, and I just love getting in the sauna when it's like cozy outside. I've been in the sauna for about 10 minutes and it's at 175. I feel like I've noticed so many benefits from being consistent with the sauna. I think the biggest thing that I've noticed is I sleep really well the days that I sauna. And then I also recover from workouts really well on the days that I sauna. So like I try to sauna on the days that I do like a long or hard run, or if I do like a really big strength training workout, I try to sauna. And it definitely helps with inflammation, and it also just helps with soreness. And then I also just feel like getting in the sauna has made me so much more like mentally resilient. But I love the sauna, and I try to sauna like 3 times a week because I literally love it. And sometimes I'll sauna for like 10 minutes and sometimes I'll sauna for like 25 minutes. It really just depends on the day, and I really listen to my body when I'm sauning. The thing I probably love the most about working at home is being able to work basically in my pajamas with my red light therapy mask on, just unbothered with my dog. It's one of my favorite parts about it. Multitasking in the best way possible. I'm planning out my next week because all of a sudden my next week got pretty hectic, busy with like wedding planning stuff. My mom decided to come really last minute, literally yesterday, decided to come next week. And so she'll be arriving on Monday. We're gonna go and see the venue. We have my cake tasting. I changed the date of that. I'm trying to change my dress fitting to this upcoming week also, to like try on my dress. I just don't know if it's arrived yet. And I just wanna like literally get her help with like so many different wedding things that I need help with. I'm the type of person where if it isn't on my Google Calendar, I will actually forget about it. And I just learned that you can add task to your Google Calendar. So that's kind of a little life hack. excited about these meatballs. I love Mediterranean bowls like this. This is vanilla yogurt, and then there's blueberries, raspberries, peaches, there's goji berries, pumpkin seeds, and honey, and then I also put little pieces of mint in here. I'm so excited because I'm about to head to a hair appointment. I'm gonna be getting some highlights this morning. I get my hair done like every 6 months. I like having really low maintenance hair. I don't really love going and sitting at the hair salon for so many hours super often. And so I always ask for natural blended highlights, and usually I'm asking for like baby lights, which basically are just mini highlights, and they just blend so much better with your hair, and it helps a lot with the grow out. You can't really even see where my hair grow out is, but I think it's about here. I'm also getting my hair cut today. I usually just cut off all the dead ends, and then I like to do long blended layers. It helps my curls a lot with long blended layers, and I don't have that right now. And then I do want some face framing pieces. I don't know how much or how short I want to go. I'm gonna kind of lean on my hairstylist. But because this is my natural hair, I don't wanna go too short because it is quite curly in the front, and I don't wanna regret it or have to like style it all the time. Wow, putting mint in a yogurt bowl is delicious. You know that like newfound confidence after you get your hair done? I'm like having one of those moments right now. I love what she did. So she basically pulled the color from the bottom to the top. My goal is for my hair to match my eyebrows at the top. So I feel like she did a really good job there. And then we also cut a little bit of like face framing pieces, which I was actually really nervous about because I do have such like wavy and curly hair. But she said it was gonna add some nice volume to my hair. So I'm excited to see like what happens when these dry naturally, or if they're the type of bangs that I need to like style. I'm eating a super random lunch right now. These are like little from the freezer tacos that I just put in the air fryer. Sometimes you just need easy lunches like this. Last week I made banana bread for the first time ever, and I was obsessed. I feel like this week I just let my bananas go bad so that I could make more banana bread. I was going to go to the gym today, but I'm so sore in the legs, and I have my longest run yet tomorrow. It's 9 miles, and I don't think I wanna overdo it. So I think I'm just gonna do a yoga moment at home because my legs are so sore, my arms are really sore. I took a boxing class this week, and I think I need a recovery day today so that I have the energy to be able to do my long run tomorrow morning. This banana bread is so fire. We live in a culture where it's so normal to just like push past our limits and to ignore our pain and just to keep on grinding or keep on showing up. But I think it's important to also use pain as a signal and be in tune with our bodies. I think it's so easy to accidentally become out of tune with our bodies because we're not listening to the signals, and then we just can't hear the signals anymore. I think the reason a lot of us are like this and we choose to ignore the pain is because we look at pain as if it's like a hurdle. And so like when we were in school, we were taught like you stay up and you study late nights. Even if you're tired, you just like push through and you keep studying. Or maybe like at work, you want to like push through and work extra hours so that you make more money or you find more success. And then there's like that quote that's like, no pain, no gain. And I do think that, we are going to endure pain to sometimes get things that we want, but rest is also just as important. And if you're ignoring the signals that your body is telling you or that your brain is sending you, you can, harm yourself physically. You can get injured if you're like overworking out, or you can experience burnout because you're not listening to your brain's signals that you're tired or overworked or stressed. For me, there's been moments that I feel disconnected from these signals, where I feel a signal that I'm like tired, and then my brain is like, oh, well, like, don't be lazy, just push through. And so I'm trying to build rituals that bring awareness back to being in tune with myself and actually listening to my body. Like today, I just feel sore in every single part of my body, even my hands from the boxing class that I did. And I just felt that it was a rest day for me. And so I listened to myself. I just did a little journaling session about this, and the prompts that I was writing about were, if my body could speak to me right now, what would it say it needs the most? Is it rest, nourishment, movement, or something else? And then the second one was, what does it feel like in my body when I'm experiencing healthy discomfort that helps me grow versus warning sign discomfort that asks me to slow down? How can I tell the difference in real time? And so learning how to notice and then listen to these signals is so important for our growth in so many different things. So that's something that I'm working on right now. I used to look at my Oura ring data really black and white. I'd be like, okay, my sleep score was bad, like I'm probably gonna have low energy today. And then I'd just kind of move on. I wouldn't ask like any further questions about it. But our body is a system, and it's a system that works together with all the other different pieces of the system to help you feel your best, perform your best, recover your best. And so if one part of that system is thrown off, it's gonna cause the whole system to start kind of like functioning differently. There's really 4 different categories that work together in the system. There's stress, there's movement, there's sleep, and there's food. And there's so many obvious ways that these can impact each other. Obviously, if you're really stressed, you might not sleep very well, but some things are less obvious. So let's say you're under like chronic stress, your body shifts into that fight or flight mode. So the 2 different modes are fight or flight and rest and digest. And so obviously when you're in fight or flight, you're not digesting food properly because you're not in that rest and digest phase. What happens in your body is the blood goes from your digestive system up into the heart. And so you can be eating as healthy as possible and getting all the nutrients that your body really needs, but your body might not be absorbing that because it's chronically stressed and in fight or flight. And so stress can change how your gut is functioning. Or like, have you ever noticed that when you have a really bad night of sleep, you're super hungry? This is because we have a hunger hormone, and basically if you have a bad night of sleep, that hunger hormone turns on and you start craving more food or having that like bottomless pit feeling in your stomach. I notice immediate results after I go on a walk for my mental health, and there's actually like science behind that. So when you move your body, your brain releases chemicals. It obviously releases chemicals like endorphins and dopamine, but it also releases other chemicals that help with learning and help with memory. And so literally by just getting out and moving your body more, your brain is more resilient and more capable to like learn new material. But it's just really interesting when you start to look at the body as a whole system and you start to realize, oh, maybe my poor diet is why I'm sleeping bad, or maybe my chronic stress is making me have a weak immune system. And if you can pinpoint where in your life is not balanced and start to lean into balancing that, your entire body, your entire system is going to start operating and functioning better. I am getting ready for my 9-mile run. I've never been nervous for a run before, but I don't know why am I so nervous right now. I think on some of my other long runs, I've like started out really fast and I always feel awful by the end of it. So I want to try something different today and just kind of do a little bit more of like a zone 2 cardio training session. I get so excited when I'm running that like I never can stay in zone 2, and I like turn on music and I like get in a good run vibe and I want to start running faster.
but it's really important to also train in your zone 2 cardio. So that's the plan today. I think this is going to take me like an hour and a half. I'm not going to be bringing my phone on this run or my camera, so I won't be able to capture any content. I forgot my little like running vest where I will like hold my camera usually. I did get an Apple Watch recently, so I have been like tracking my runs with Strava on here, and then also using Apple Music on here. And then I do actually have calling on this, so that is really nice. If like someone calls me or texts me, I can like answer the phone or see what they're doing. I can also like unlock my Tesla with this, which is really clutch. So anyway, let me get to this run. Just got back from my run. I'm just having a little chicken and rice. I made this chicken in my slow cooker yesterday. I'm just obsessed with slow cooked chicken. It's crazy how some long runs are so hard and then some are so easy. So I did 9.1 miles, running average pace 9:52 per mile. So I ran it in like an hour and 30 minutes. But I had such a fun run because I was 3 miles into my run and someone taps me on the shoulder, and it was one of the girls that I met at Run Club. And I was like, how many miles are you running? And she was like, oh, I'm running 6 miles. And I was like, no way, I have 6 miles left in my 9-mile run. So we ended up running the entire run together, and it just made it so fun and go by so fast. I did end up running really far away from my car and had to walk 3 miles back. I put these carrots in the slow cooker with the chicken and with chicken broth, and I just love the way that they turn out. They're like so soft and they're so juicy. Today was the first time in my half marathon training that I've actually felt like capable of running it. I feel like some weeks I just have bad weeks where I'm like, I can't do this. I don't know what I did. Why did I sign up for this? And this week was almost like a reassurance of like, you can do this, you're capable, because I easily could have run 4 more miles today and that would have been the entire half marathon. And so I'm really just trusting the process because every single week I'm getting so much stronger physically and mentally. I just spent the last few minutes doing my meal planning for the week. This is basically where I just go in and I write out what I'm making for lunch every single day and also what I'm making for dinner and what I need to get at the grocery store. I'm gonna try to go to the grocery store today whenever my hair is dry. I feel like I've made my wellness and my longevity rituals a part of my lifestyle, but at one point they were a to-do list. And I think that making these a part of my lifestyle, not just a to-do list, has made it way easier for me to stay consistent with them. The way that I did this is, at first, I would just add things into my calendar. So like, if I knew I wanted to do 3 strength training sessions per week and I wanted to do red light therapy 3 times a week and I wanted to sauna 3 times a week, I'd literally add it in my calendar for when I was going to do it. Another powerful way to start incorporating rituals into your lifestyle is by habit stacking. So like, if you want to drink more water, well, like habit stack it with making your coffee. So like while your coffee is brewing, you're like drinking water with electrolytes in it. For me, there's been so many things that I want to integrate, but you really do have to choose your non-negotiables because it can become overwhelming if you're doing too much habit stacking, and that's not the point of all of this. The point is to slowly integrate things in and then you can keep adding the same way. And so I choose your top 2 or 3 non-negotiables for the entire week and just make sure you do those and make those a big priority. Tonight for dinner, I'm making a sweet and savory beef tart. I bought these tomatoes at the farmer's market and they are so good. They're so sweet. And so I wanted to make a little recipe with them. I also still had half of this puff pastry pack left, so I wanted to use that also. I went ahead and prepped my ground beef and my sauteed onions just so this recipe would come together in less than 20 minutes. I put a little bit of cinnamon on top of here because I'm literally obsessed with cinnamon. And then I put a little bit of butter in each corner because I want the butter to kind of crystallize and also just kind of harden the pastry a little bit. Hopefully that happens. I haven't cooked a puff pastry this way, but this looks insanely delicious. I'm so excited. Jonas is gluten-free, so I made a little version for him. All the same ingredients except for instead of puff pastry, I mixed it with rice, and then I also threw some spinach in. For the puff pastry, I should have probably put spinach on it. I just kind of forgot about that. But I think I'm just gonna make a little spinach salad to the side for a little bit more veggies. It smells so insanely good. Oh my God. Yum. It smells insane. I know this sounds a little crazy, but just a tiny drizzle of this on the puff pastry, just a little bit. Holy moly, this is a creation.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Can I try a small bite?
Mm-hmm. Where do you want to go from? Get that.
Holy shit.
That was like the best thing I've ever had in my life.
That's insane.